It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to the basement where all the coolest stuff happens. I know it looks like my car, but it's not my car. Ciro, it's quite surprising to actually be able to see you over the top of the car. No offense, bro, with all due respect. This is a low-riding vehicle, and it is beautiful. What are we reviewing today, my brother?
Well, staring over this beautifully shaped roof, interestingly shaped roof as well, we are looking at the Peugeot Rcz. A very, very sexy French mistress. And like a lot of French mistresses, this one's had a facelift. So it came out a couple of years ago, and then they thought, no, let's give it a bit of a refresh. It went in for a little bit of a nip here and a tuck there. And what you're looking at is the latest version of the sports car. I think is one of the best looking cars on the road.
Oh, mademoiselle, you look beautiful. It is, the styling is incredible. And like the name suggests, it's sporty.
Yeah.
It's looking great.
So the Rcz is powered by only one engine. And it's quite an interesting engine. I'd like to tell you quite a little bit more about it. So let's head over to the front where I have sneakily popped the bonnet, and now I've just got to find that little thing.
Like all French cars, from completely the wrong side of the
exactly.
car.
So this little engine here is busier than Helen Ziller. It does duty in the Mini, the original Mini, or the one that came out a couple of years ago rather, the Citroen DS3, a couple of different Peugeot models. You'll even find it in BMW's 116i. This has been one of the most successful engines ever. It's a 1.6 turbo. Okay. This particular iteration of it has got 147 kilowatts, same as the Cooper S, the Mini Cooper S actually. So if you've always fancied something like that, but you always wanted something a bit sexier and a bit more sporty,
a bit more flash,
this could be the car for you. But it is French, so it's very particular. So if you would like an automatic box, then you can only have the detuned version of this. Okay. It's got 115 kilowatts. If you want the manual,
though, the car or the driver?
I don't know. It's like, oh, you want an auto, you must want to go slowly. Tough for you. So if you do want the faster version, then you do have to have the manual gearbox. But you know, as we'll see when we're inside, the manual gearbox in here is a real peach,
it's
actually.
Sweet. It does look like they've crammed it in here, though. For a small engine space, there is a lot of engine in there. It looks beautiful. And the styling is great. You've got to love the little pearl finish.
Exactly. Now, front engine, front wheel drive sports car this, but what that means is that you get a particularly decent boot because there's no diff taking up all the space in the back there. So let's hop in here and hopefully we can get the cameras in to have a good look.
Come have a little look-see in here.
How's that seating position?
Oh, that's lovely.
So now, as you turn the key, you'll see a screen will pop up out of the dash.
Is it going to talk to me? Is it going to talk to me?
It should tell you a few things. And you've got sat nav in here, but I wouldn't recommend using it. It's a bit difficult.
Okay, so the French aren't quite au fait with the South African roads just yet.
Let's put it that way. It's probably, honestly, one of the most difficult cars I've ever had to use to try enter an address. I just use my iPhone or something when I'm trying to go somewhere. But I love the interior in here. Look at all the leather work and the stitching.
It's very classic as well. Love the dials, love the racing setup inside, and you do feel this cockpit vibe. So I feel like I'm in an F14.
If you put your hand there on the manual gearbox, it's just perfectly in the right place, isn't it? It's just like, it makes every trip exciting, this car. You know, you just want to go get some milk, I'm going to take the Rcz.
Maybe that's why the sat-nav is an issue. So they know you must just hit the open road and drive. Drive till you've stopped enjoying yourself.
Until you've stopped having fun.
No, exactly. It really is comfortable, and it really does feel, like you say, like a sports car. It feels beefy, it doesn't feel too small, and incredibly comfortable. I'm going to struggle to get out of this one, actually.
This car suits you, I think. So I just wanted to show you a little cool toy. If we could get a shot of that, of the wing at the back there, you can actually control that with a button, but it will pop up over. There we go. Did I get it?
There we go. No? Yeah, no, it's doing it's wiggling more than
you can actually pop that up manually, or it'll go up with speed, actually, is at over 120 k's an hour. Right, so you probably want to know how much this costs.
Do I want to know how much this costs?
And that's where, I almost don't want to tell you, actually. So the French brands have been hit quite hard by our currency devaluation. And when this car came out last year, it was 100,000 Rand cheaper. Wow. It's 524,000 Rand now, which is a fair amount of money.
What could you get for $500,000 these days?
Jeez, these days, I mean, all sorts of cars. You could start looking at things like, you could almost get yourself into a Range Rover Evoque, you know, that sort of thing. I mean, if you're talking $500,000 Rand cars, there is a whole different world of cars that you can get into. Audi S3, for instance, that's a very good car. Golf R, which we had in the studio a while ago, that's $500,000.
So on a performance level, if you had to grade it, is this a car that you would buy should you have 500,000 lying around?
Well, interestingly for me, this car has the has the go rather to match the show. It looks spectacular. There's not many cars that look this good on the road, and it actually is a very, very good drive. R5,000,000's a bit tough, but if you could find a good second-hand model, I'd say good for you.
So in other words, the French have pulled out a winner with this one. Ciro, thank you so much. Where can we continue the conversation with you if people want to find out more about this and other cars we've reviewed?
Find me on Twitter at CiroDS.
At CiroDS. Thank you so much for bringing a little sparkle to our morning this morning. What an awesome ride. We are going to get straight into our Express news. I'm going to race back up to our studio to get into the sports as well.